What is up, you guys? It is Carly here, bringing you a new update video. Yes, it's been a while since I've done this because I just don't usually buy as much as I used to when I first started this channel, but I've come to find I've accumulated quite a bit within the past 2 months. I would say, yeah, March and April. This is April right now, so within the past, month and then April, I guess. Yeah, because I went to a few conventions. It was my birthday, and just went to a store here and there and picked up some things. So I thought I would make a video just showcasing what I got, because I got some cool stuff. And yeah, I don't even know what to really. I was gonna be like convention pickups, but that's not all what this is from. So I'll probably just label this as horror haul or something update, but something like that. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, I'm gonna get right on into it, and first I'm gonna show a few cutesy things that I got. The first up being this little ghosty guy here. Yeah, this was at Creature Feature Weekend. Also, none of this stuff is in order, because why would I do that? But yeah, this one is from Creature Feature Weekend. This was the last month, or the last week of March, that JP and I went to that, and this girl was selling, like, different things made out of different rocks and materials and stuff. I forget what she said this was made out of exactly, but just a cute little ghosty guy, and I kept passing up her table and I kept seeing it, and she had like a bunch of other stuff too, like little mushroom figures and just regular old marble like rocks and things like that. But I kept seeing him sitting there, and I was like, well, he's not getting bought, so fate would have it, I need to have him. So I got him, and yeah, it's kind of a cool color because it's like when you look at it up close, it's pretty much just like a very dark gray, but then when the light hits it, it looks like it's all lightish gray, whitish color. So yeah, just have him sitting in my living room, and I love him because I love cutesy stuff. So that is that. Then after that, I have this pin, this Phantasm pin that my friend Chris Ridings got me. He's been a few movies with me now, but yeah, he knows I really enjoy Phantasm, and he went to a convention that had Mr. Reggie Bannister, who unfortunately is not doing well now and will not be doing more conventions, and I sadly have never gotten to meet, but they were giving out these pins, so Chris grabbed me one, and it was touched by Reggie and his wife, so that is very special. And I was going to take it out and put it on, I have a bag that I just put all my pins on. I kind of have a bit of a collection, but I realized, it says 45th anniversary on it. It has the date, March 23rd, 2024. And also, like, the background, as you can see, looks like the mausoleum. So yeah, this is just going to stay in the packaging and be displayed like that. But I thought that was cool and super nice of him to pick that up for me. And then lastly, for cutesy little random things, we have my favorite thing here, and that is an Elmer. Yes, Elmer from Brain Damage, of course. If you guys watched my video from the last time I went to Creature Feature Weekend, which would have been around last March, I did an update video from that. I picked up this little glowworm. It was a blue little glowworm guy, and I was in love with him. And it was made by the same girl who made this. And when I picked that up, I pretty much picked it up because, one, it was adorable. Second, it reminded me of Elmer, from Brain Damage. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this girl should make these. And I didn't tell her that, but she ended up making them anyway. So maybe I telepathy? What's the word? Psychologically, I don't know. Maybe I made her make this by putting that in her head using my mind. We're gonna go with that. But no, she had little guys like this, and then she actually had big ones that looked, pretty legit, like a lot more like him, but they were more expensive and cheap. But I had to get them, and yeah, I love this thing. I love the feeling of it, and I think she did a really good job. Like I said, she had several of them for sale, and when we first did the rounds at that convention, I was like, well, damn, I gotta leave with that guy, right? But yeah, obviously I can't really stand him up, but I've been keeping him in a cup because, like, he could kind of lean in there, and yeah, love this guy, love Brain Damage, love Hen and Lauder's films, and was very happy with this. Then after that, I guess I'll show a few books I got here. One being The Complete Fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. My friend Mallory actually got this for me because I had posted that I was trying to read more books, and of course she knows I like horror. So she got me this, and it's one of those cool ones. Just, you know, they make a lot of these. They make ones for, oh my god, Edgar Allan Poe, and just, you know, you could buy Dracula with this type of cover and stuff, just with the Nito spine and whatnot. And, you know, it's got like a little one of these bookmarks in it already, which is nice, kind of like a Bible. And it's huge. It might even be bigger than the Bible, but I think it's got every single story by H.P. Lovecraft. I did read 2 of the stories so far, and I will not lie, I do struggle to understand what I'm reading when it comes to stuff written this long ago. He is very wordy and descriptive with his writing, and it goes in order from the first thing he wrote to the last. So right now, you know, the first story I read, I want to say, was from like 1907, 02, something like that. So let's see if we can find it. I don't know why I decided to do this. Let's see. The Beast in the Cave, published or written in the spring of 1904. First draft completed April 21st, 1905. So yeah, hard for someone with a puny brain like me to read, but cool nevertheless. I'm going to try to read one of the stories per month at least, and eventually, I might die first, but who knows, I'll get through this all eventually. So that is that. After that, I have A Scary Little Christmas, signed by the author here, and this guy was selling these, again, at Creature Feature Weekend. It caught my eye, and I, of course, had to pick it up because I talked to him for a good bit. JP and I did, and he seemed very passionate about it, and he said he wrote this basically during 2020, during COVID times, when there was not much else to do, and he got a ridiculous amount of coverage in this. It's a history of Yuletide horror films, 1972 to 2020. So, yeah, he got a bunch of just interviews and behind-the-scenes photos and, you know, rare stuff going on in here. You know, there's pictures and everything, and yeah, it's pretty much a dictionary, encyclopedia, whatever, of Christmas horror films, which are some of my favorite horror films. I love Christmas-themed horror movies, and, you know, I said every year you get a few, and every year you usually get some decent ones, honestly. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. Obviously, I plan to wait more until this coming winter when it gets to be the holidays again and Christmas time, but it's another one I'll probably just read a little bit throughout time, you know, just different movies a day or month or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool. Love that he used Silent Night, Deadly Night as the cover. I actually met the guy who played Billy in that movie at this convention, and he was super nice. So yeah, very fitting. That is the books, and now I have some VHS tapes here. First up, we have The Bad Seed. I picked this up. There was not a convention, but like a retro sort of, what do you want to, I don't know, market, I guess you could say, at the Monroeville Mall, which of course is where Dawn of the Dead was shot. But my friend Maddie was selling some of her movies there, and told me I should come out. And I happened to be free that day. It was a Sunday, I believe, like 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I think it was just the week before Creature Feature, actually. So I did all this stuff like right one after another. But picked up, they had tapes, they had laser discs, they had, you know, people selling their old DVDs and Blu-rays, old TVs, stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. You know, it was just a one-room thing. It was small. I didn't stay too long, but it was just nice to go and hang out. And there was a big section of tapes. I believe it was like buy 3 for, I forget how much, $15 maybe. So not too bad. But yeah, The Bad Seed, picked this up. I watched it, and yeah, I had seen this movie years ago. Forgot how long it is. It is quite a long film. I will say that. I think it's almost, or maybe over even, 2 hours long. Kind of feel like it doesn't need to be that long, and honestly, I actually prefer the remake that came out, I believe, in the 80s, and I want to say that might have been a TV movie, but it's shorter and more simple and to the point. But, you know, evil kid movie. Gotta love it. And I do like this interesting little cover here. I think that's pretty cool, and just thought that was a cool one to pick up on tape. Then after that, speaking of Maddie, Madeline Deering, of course, I got this Bathtub Shark Attack VHS tape from Lunch Meat. Maddie actually kindly picked this up and gave it to me, but yeah, this is awesome. Obviously, like I said, Madeline directed this. I am in this movie. This was a blast to make, and this is just super sweet. Super awesome cover art and everything. And just, I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's really awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that like has a glare there. But, yeah, very happy to have this. Definitely picked this movie up along with her film Spirit Animal. They were both on that Lunch Meat. I don't know if it's Lunch Meat Video or .com or what, but just look up Lunch Meat VHS and you'll find it. But yeah, definitely pick this up. Shameless plug. After that, we have Children of the Corn Revelation. I believe I got this one a week or two before I went to the thing where I got the bad seed. JP and I happened to be at our local mall, which is very depressing, very dead mall. It's one of those malls that has become nothing but, not that this is a bad thing, but it's, you know, it usually means the end of malls. At least around here, it seems like, where the stores get super random, like they become like an antique type of mall slash, there was just stores like this that sell VHS tapes, retro video games, old video game, used game players and stuff, kind of like Cash and Culture, which is a place I used to talk about a lot, and that place unfortunately went out of business around here. But yeah, so they have a lot of stores in there that sell like tapes, and they have also like just card games like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon. Oh, you know, kind of like the Nerd Squad, and they have tables set up with people playing these games and stuff. But yeah, the guy in the store was really nice, and I picked up Children of the Corn Revelation. I believe this is part 7 of the franchise. Mainly picked it up because I have part 1 on VHS, and I enjoy collecting franchises on tape, especially. I just like the look of it, and it's, I don't know, it's cool to see them all on the shelf. I did watch this one, and I actually did enjoy it. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. You know, I think these movies are very hit or miss. I believe part, like, 666, is pretty horrible. I've not seen that one, and I want to say, like, part 5. Like, so there's a few middle ones that are not good, but then there's ones that are not great. You know, it's still like a 6 out of 10, something like that, but it's watchable. Like, I enjoyed my time with it, not going to lie. Is this the one? Yeah, this is also one where it's like a condemned apartment complex. So it takes place in an apartment complex, which is ridiculous. There's like corn right outside this apartment complex, and it does not look right at all, but I like apartment horror, so I had a good time with that. I really did. After that, we have Children of the Corn Part 4. I picked this one up because I just picked that one up, and I bought this one again at that little market thing that Maddie was at. Children of Corn 4, this actually has Naomi Watts in it, which I did not know, as well as Karen Black, which I did not know. Like I said, I had never seen this one before either, and yeah, I enjoyed this one as well. You know, it had some actors that I like in it, and I like the cover. Just, again, little cheesy, felt TV movie-esque and stuff like that, but I liked it. You know, it still had the setting, the middle of nowhere, cornfield setting, unlike that one that takes place in an apartment. So I always enjoy that. That's really what my favorite part of the Children of the Corn films is, the idea of cornfields and very small towns, middle of nowhere type settings. I've always been a big fan of that. So if anything, that's what I like out of these movies. So yeah, pleasantly surprised with that one as well. Then we have Anatomy. I also got this one where I got Children of the Corn 4 and The Bad Seed. And this one is one that I actually have on DVD, but I'm weird like that, and I'll probably get rid of the DVD now that I have it on VHS. I either downgrade or upgrade from DVD. DVD is like the least interesting thing for me at this point to own. So anytime I have a duplicate, as long as the VHS works, I'll be like, I don't really want the DVD anymore. But if I have something on Blu-ray and VHS, that's fine with me. Like, I'm not going to get rid of my Blu-ray. I'm not that crazy. I'm not going to get rid of my tape, though, either, because collector value. Anyway, Anatomy, I don't remember this one a whole lot, but I remember liking it. That's all I remember, really. I saw this years ago, and I thought it was pretty cool, but I could not tell you anything that happens in it. I know it's about an anatomy, like a medical school anatomy class. I'm just reading the back, yeah. But yeah, like the cover, like the red and everything, and just thought that was a cool one to pick up. After that, we have Hunter's Blood. I got this at that store that was in the mall, and JP told me this is kind of in the vein of Deliverance. And actually, I just realized it says it brings a deliverance quality of fear to the forest. So yeah, there you go. I've never seen this before, but I'm a big fan of Deliverance. I always have liked that one. That's one my dad showed me when I was a kid. He made me leave the room during that one scene, but he did show me it, and I've liked it ever since. So I haven't checked this out yet, but I am definitely looking forward to it. And again, I dig this cover and everything, so definitely looking forward to that one. Then we have Damien Omen 2, which I believe I also bought at that store along with Hunter's Blood. And yeah, I picked this up. It's actually the only one besides, well, yeah, I guess besides the remake and the newest one that came out. I'm not going to get that on tape, but out of the original 4, this is the only one I did not have on tape. So now I've technically completed that, and that's going to look super cool on the shelf. Yeah, I'm just looking. All of them have like this logo on it besides the first one, so that kind of bothers me. But anyway, I do like this cover though. I like how it's like white with like the bird and stuff, or crow or whatever. And I actually like the Omen too. I've only seen it like once or twice, but I think it's pretty solid, and it's a good time. It's probably like I don't know. I don't know. I really like the first one too, and I find 4 to be fun. I think part 3 is the most boring to me, but I like part 2 quite a bit too, from what I remember. So, yep. After that, we have Audrey Rose. Picked this one up again at the thing that Maddie was at, and I have never seen this movie. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it, but I've always heard decent things about it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it's all about. I don't really know what it's about. A terrifying tale of soul possession. So, yeah, maybe it's about a girl named Audrey Rose that becomes possessed. That's what I'm gonna go out on a whim and say. But yeah, like I said, haven't watched it yet. Always have seen this one around. I believe it always gets good reviews, so looking forward to checking that out. And then lastly, for the tapes, we have Tremors 3. Now, don't shoot me, but I'm not a huge fan of the Tremors franchise. It's just not really my cup of tea. You know, people find it really fun. I feel like it's one that if you grew up with it, it's got a lot of nostalgia, but to me, I did not grow up with it, but I just, yeah, I have part 1 and 2 on tape, so that is why I grabbed part 3. And again, it's cool because they're all like the yellow, I'm trying to find it, you know, they all have like the yellow, blackish, brownish cover, so that's gonna look cool on my shelf. Actually, I don't even know if I've ever seen part 3, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's cool. After that, I will get into some Blu-rays here. And first up, we have the Blair Rabbit Project. I picked this up at Cinema Wasteland, which I just went to this past weekend. A lot of fun, had a great time. And this is a movie that my friend Tony had picked up at the last Wasteland, and I want to say he grabbed like the last copy, and then he unfortunately lost it when he was going back home somehow. So feel bad for him for that. But ever since he picked it up, I was curious on it because I believe this is a movie that came out the same year as the Blair Witch Project. Like, they immediately made a parody in 1999, but then they never finished like editing it or something. So it did not come out until 20 years later or so. I want to see maybe 2021, I think. It says like the footage was found 20 years later in the movie, but I think it was actually 2021 that this got an official release. I did watch this, and I actually had a pretty good time with it. You know, there's a lot of Blair Witch parodies out there, surprisingly, but I think this one was probably the best one in my opinion. You know, some stuff falls flat, but there's some funny stuff, especially the beginning, just not narration, but the words, you know, it comes out saying like, oh, this group of idiots went into the woods to film a documentary trying to find this Blair rabbit. And it doesn't even say that. It says something else, like a bunch of kids went missing in the woods. A year later, their footage was found, but the people trying to find that footage also went missing. But then a year later, their footage was found. And then it's like, unfortunately, they also went missing. And then they gave up looking for people. So it does funny stuff like that. The end credits, like, say the movie, you know, was directed by, like, Ed Wood. And all. It's just, like, ridiculous. And yeah, like, of course, they're trying to find this rabbit in the woods. And then stuff kind of goes from there. Yeah, and there's a part with a girl and it kind of has this flip out because they lose the map and she just, like, she hasn't sworn the whole movie and then all of a sudden she's, like, saying the F word every other word, and that's clearly a parody of Heather in the original movie, of course, so I thought that was pretty funny, and there's a lot of scenes where she keeps just beating up the one guy, which, of course, there's a scene in the original where the girl does that. So yeah, I just gave away all the funny stuff. You guys are welcome, but no, I think people would enjoy this one. I'm glad I picked this up and gave it a shot. That is that. Now this one is just one that I bought for myself for my birthday as like a present for myself because I'm selfish. No, but it is the Tim Ritter collection, the SOV years. I was fortunate enough to do a movie with Tim Ritter helping out. It was actually Susanna Capostacci's movie out in Michigan. But Tim Ritter was on set the whole time helping her out, and he's a super chill dude, and I had never, unfortunately, seen his older stuff, so I wanted to pick this up and support him and just dive into all his older things. This is all his, like, shot-on-video films from the 80s and 90s, and I believe 2000s as well, that are not the Truth or Dare franchise, which is what he's most known for. But it's got Twisted Illusions 2, Creep, Dirty Cop No Donut, I Am a Pig, Dirty Cop No Donut 2, and Reconciled Through the Christ. So far I've watched all of them besides the last one, and I've enjoyed them. You know, they're pretty solid for what they are. You know, you could see the effort put forth. And I've come to find I enjoy shot-on-video films. I just really love the charm of it and the old, just seeing how people did it themselves back in the day. So, I've had a good time with them. I think the Dirty Cop No Donut, the first one, as well as Twisted Illusions Part 2, I think, is probably I'm trying to, like, I don't know, I really like Part 1 too, even though it was, like, one of his oldest films and definitely has some, like, questionable acting in segments, but I really enjoyed that one too. So Dirty Cop No Donut and both of the Twisted Illusions are probably my favorites so far. So out of what, like 6 movies, that's like all of them. But yeah, so that's a cool pickup, and I love the cover on that too. That's awesome. Then after that, at Cinema Wasteland, again, I picked up Antiviral, whatever. This is a Brandon Cronenberg film. I want to say this was his first one, and I know 22 Shots covered this back in the day, like in their earlier episodes. And I want to say they liked it as well. And a lot of people tend to like this one. Sounds good. It sounds like it's a body horror type of film, which I typically enjoy. So yeah, I always like to pick stuff up from Severin while I'm there, at least 3 movies or so. So I was struggling on what to get, but this is one of the ones that made the cut. And yeah, again, enjoy that cover. Have not watched it yet, but after that we have America's Deadliest Home Video. This was a TerrorVision release, I believe, and I picked this one up because I think on the commentary by Tim Ritter on one of his movies, Dirty Cop No Donut, he brought this up because it predates that movie, and he was just saying how Dirty Cop No Donut is pretty much like a mockumentary style film following a dirty cop around as he gets up to no good and harasses people, and, you know, that predates, or I think it came out the same year as Blair Witch technically, but maybe was made before it, and then I think this came out in, like, 1994, so this even predates that, and I guess this is also, a documentary-style, found footage-y film, so yeah, him saying that made me really want to check this one out. I forget where this is made. It says A Killer Road Movie, so I feel like I'm probably really going to like this one. I have a good feeling about it. Hopefully I am correct. Then after that we have Out of the Blue, a Dennis Hopper film. Again, cool cover. This is one that caught my attention at the last Wasteland, but I just didn't pick it up. This is 4K, 2 Blu-ray discs. And yeah, it just sounds like up my alley. It's like a feral punk masterpiece, it says. I like the sound of that. And Dennis Hopper being involved is cool because he was a pretty cool guy. But yeah, I didn't pick this up at last Wasteland because I'd already spent so much money and I just couldn't bring myself to spend more money. So I thought, why not grab it this time? So yeah, another Severin release. Looking forward to checking that one out. And then lastly from the Severins, I have Spider Labyrinth. I don't really know about this. It's a Italian movie, but it is not a giallo, because as you guys know, I'm a hater of gialli films. But my friend Dave and some other people were telling me that I would probably like it and that it's cool. It's kind of in the vein of like Cemetery Man and I forget what else he compared it to. It was something else I like. But yeah, don't know if I'll like this one or not, but we shall see. Like the cover, like the title, like the back too. So yeah, I judge books by their cover when it comes to these movies, not going to front. After that, we have Satan Lives. This is a Sean Donahue picture, and it's got Jessa Flex, who was also at Wasteland. And yeah, every time I see Sean at Wasteland, I try to pick up at least one of his movies because he has a lot of films, and I've not seen a lot of them, and I just like to, you know, get more and more of his stuff. It's got Joel D. Wynkoop in it, Phil Herman. And yeah, it sounded like a cool plot based off the back of it. So we shall see. Of course, made in Florida. Yeah, like I said, I always try to pick up at least one of his films to try to slowly but surely get his collection. After that, here's a repeat, but we have Bathtub Shark Attack on Blu-ray. So yes, I recently got the VHS and Blu-ray, and I have a DVD copy of it. So I now have this on every format that it can be got, which is pretty cool. Maddie finally got these Blu-rays made. I know she was struggling to get them done. Not by her fault, just a lot of issues with getting them made and getting them to work. But they are finally available. Hallelujah. It's been a long time coming. And yeah, Maddie gave me this for free, which was nice of her. And I love that, you know, we got our girl Jennifer here on the cover. And yeah, I gotta check it out. I haven't watched it on the Blu-ray. I'm sure it looks good, but yeah, excited to finally have this. That is sweet. Definitely pick that movie up if you have the chance. Again, in my unbiased opinion, it's pretty good. After that, we have What Happens Next Will Scare You. This was another TerrorVision release, and the people, I believe, who made WNUF as well as, yes, WNUF and the Out There Halloween special made this as well. And the girl who actually starred in the is that what it's called, Out There Halloween Tape is what it's called, I believe, the sequel to WNUF, basically. The girl who starred in that one was actually at Creature Feature and was selling her movies. JP picked up the Out There Halloween Tape. It was the last copy, actually, and I was gonna pick this up, but again, I just I don't know, I didn't want to spend all my money at that one because I knew I had Cinema Wasteland the next week, so I ended up picking this up. I wanted to pick this up. She was telling me about it. It sounded interesting, and I believe it's like a dark web type of thing where people get kind of wrapped up in watching videos on there, like the 13 scariest videos of all time or something like that, and then things kind of go from there. But these guys do great work. They definitely have the passion and put the effort forth, so I wanted to pick this up. So I did. Another one I cannot wait to dig into. Alright guys, lastly I have a few DVDs here. First up we have The Sinful Dwarf, a Severin release. I bought this off of Maddie at Wasteland. I was going to buy it off of her, or I don't even know. Was I really going to buy this off of her? I mean, come on. I was going to buy it off of her though at the past event she was at, and I didn't have... she could only accept cash. I didn't have the cash for it, so I was like, let me, hold me to it. I'll buy it from you at Wasteland. So first thing I did was go up and buy this off of her. Obviously this is not her movie. It's a Severin release, and it's just a movie she was selling to So, and yeah, this film, she said, is a lot of fun. Don't always trust Maddie, though, because she likes bad movies, honestly. Love you, Maddie. But yeah, the mother of all dwarf exploitation films. Our friend Ed came up to us and told me that this is actually awful and it has every recipe to be a fun, good movie, but he said it's horrendous. So, I don't know what to believe there. Well, I'll have to judge this for myself. I really don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I do find it hilarious in title and cover. So, whatever. After that, we have Slave Dolls 2, The Red Rooms. This is by a buddy, Goblin O'Reilly, and his lady, Pixie Puke. And, yeah, he was selling this at Wasteland. I've never seen any of his films. I've not seen Slave Dolls 1. I didn't realize this was part 2 until I actually went to pick it up. But I have a feeling you don't really need to see the first one to understand the second one. I believe this is kind of like a torture-y type of film, messed up type of flick like that. Probably like a gore fest. And I think it literally just says it's like a fetishy, gruesome, yeah, torture film. So, yeah. Not sure if I like it or not, but I wanted to support him. I like the cover, I like the look of it, and like I said, I've never seen any of their films. I'm not sure what all they've made, if it's just been the Slave Dolls or if they made other things. So, yeah, but I will be checking this out, and of course, I will let them know my opinions on it. After that, we have Freak by another Wasteland amigo, and that is Lucky, and I should know how to say his name, but I don't, his last name, and I'm so sorry. Karudi, I probably butchered that, but he signed it, and this is a film. I was standing at his table just talking to him, looking at his stuff, and Maddie came over and was like, oh my god, you gotta pick this up. You gotta pick up Freak, and you gotta love it. If you don't love it, I'll hate you and stuff. So, I grabbed it, and I did watch this just last night, and I did really enjoy this. I was surprised by well, not, you know, it's just, it's one of those movies I felt like was a gem. Looks like it came out in 2020, and this is an indie movie, of course, and this is done right. You know, it's only 59 minutes. I actually felt like it could have afforded to be longer. It had great special effects. It's pretty much about this mutant person who lives in the woods, and people go camping and start encountering him and getting picked off. So, you know, it sounds like it's going to be like your typical Friday the 13th ripoff, but when you see the actual fella who's killing them, that is what really sold this for me. I was like, whoa, that is awesome. Like, I just thought it was great. It's got James Bell effects in it. He's a great independent special effects guy. Wait, am I even right about that? Yeah, it is James Bell. He did the effects on it, and it's obviously so. He does good work. Very just disgusting effects. So, yeah, this was solid. Cannot recommend it enough. Definitely pick this up if you go to those conventions and you see this guy. I'm not sure if it's available online to buy or rent or anything like that, but yeah, definitely recommend Freak. Good stuff. And then last but not least, we have Lost Faith. This is a movie with Joel D. Wynkoop. I have not watched it yet, but it just looks like a blast. Looks like, you know, it's just a ripoff of like old kung fu type movies, Death Wish-esque. It says he lost his wife, he lost his patience, and he lost his faith. The cover is clearly a ripoff of some, I forget what the movie is, but, you know, it just looks like fun. What year was this made? Let's see. 1992, it looks, or wait. No, what? Hold on. Yeah, 1992, I believe. So yeah, this is, again, Joel D. Wynkoop. He's in a lot of, Tim Ritter's films, so I've enjoyed watching him. He's got great energy and, acting abilities, and you could tell he does this stuff because he loves doing it, and he really enjoys it. So, this just seems like it would be fun. And I bought this off of Maddie as well. I bought this when she was selling The Sinful Dwarf at that event, and I spent the cash I had buying this one, so I could not buy The Sinful Dwarf at that time. But now I have both. So, yeah. Like I said, haven't watched it yet, but looking forward to it. Martial arts film. That's really the word I was looking for. But anyway. That is it, guys. That is everything. That was a long video, longer than I'm used to making nowadays. So, I hope you freaking enjoyed it, because my mouth is dry, and I'm tired of talking. But all the stuff I got, I'm very happy with and excited to check out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to do more of these as I get more stuff. Of course, I'll have Gross Fest coming up and some other events where I'll be picking up some things. So I will be sure to make a video of those. And yeah, so for now, everybody, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video.